Welcome back today, guys, and we are here to predict game week 4 of the Champions League. I think for now I've been predicting right most of them, but now let's just move on straight away to the first game, which is on Tuesday, which is PSV versus Girona. Now, I think it's a very good game. Girona, I think, got. Did they win last week? I forgot who they played. I don't think they did actually. No, they did. Bratislava. That's so. But PSV drew against PSG. PSV did not play well. They had one chance and scored, but I think PSV at home, PSV doing quite well in the league. Girona not really as good, and that's why I think PSV will beat Girona 1-0. I think Girona's gonna I think Girona's gonna score, but it's gonna get disallowed. I think last minute equalizer or something, and then PSV at home, they have the fans, they have the players, they have everything on their side. That's why I think they're gonna win this game, but barely because Girona's still a good team anyways. Now, Bratislava versus Dinamo Zagreb. Dinamo Zagreb, who beat Salzburg away, and Bratislava, who I don't think have scored a goal. They're being destroyed every single game, and that's why I think Dinamo Zagreb, off the bounce of that win away, they will win again away and get their second win of this new Champions League format. And that's going to be a very good win for Dinamo Zagreb to try and get that playoff spot for them with 6 points. Now, Real Madrid versus AC Milan. Real Madrid, who came back from 2-0 down, yeah, against Dortmund and won 5-2, whereas Milan, I think, won their first, yeah, they beat Club Brugge 3-1, won their first game of the Champions League this season, but this time Real Madrid at home, they just actually recently lost to Barcelona. That's their most recent game because their game yesterday got cancelled. But yeah, but Milan, they're not doing as good. They're doing okay, mediocre. Where Real Madrid also mediocre. But I think Real Madrid at home, they just have the better class, they have the better everything. So that's why I think Real Madrid will win. But I don't think it'll be as comfortable as some people might think. I think Milan will give a fight, but I don't think they'll have enough attacking force to convert their chances. Whereas Real Madrid have Vini, Rodrigo, Bellingham, Mbappe, all these players to try and score goals. Now Liverpool versus Leverkusen, I think, well, Xabi Alonso derby, you could say. Arne Slot, putting has Liverpool top of the league right now in the Prem with only one loss in all competitions. Haven't lost a game in the Champions League as well. Leverkusen who drew 1-1 to Brest away, which was very surprising for me because Leverkusen, I think, have fallen off a bit this season, but I don't think you'd expect them to do as good as last season. They went unbeaten, they did all these different things, so I don't think they'll ever do as good of that season. But I think they'll still. I think Liverpool will beat Leverkusen. Liverpool's at home. They're in better form. They have just Salah's on good form right now. He's scoring for fun, assisting for fun. They came back from 1-0 down against Brighton, scored two in like 5 minutes. And Leverkusen, they're still doing well, but not as good as last season. But Liverpool will win at home versus Leverkusen like 2-1. So something like a tight score, tight score. Now Dortmund versus Sturm Graz, I think this one's nice and easy. Sturm Graz have been destroyed not destroyed, but they've lost every single game. Whereas Dortmund, who to be fair just got destroyed against Real Madrid, but they should still beat Sturm Graz comfortably. I think 3-0 for Dortmund at home as well. Nice and comfortable for them. Now, Sporting versus Man City. A lot of Man United fans will be watching this game. First of all, that is against City, and that's going to be their manager after international break. So they want to see how he does with Sporting, against Manchester City. But I think Sporting, they'll give a tough fight. They'll try everything. Gyökeres will probably score. But I think, you know what? I think I think Sporting's better than Bournemouth. But based on that, I think based on this, I think Sporting will draw 1-1 against City at home as well. They've got the fans. Their fans are amazing. One of the best fans I've ever seen, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, City got no fans like usual. Everyone knows that. But yeah, I think City's on poor form right now. They just lost to Bournemouth. They're pretty low. Sporting, they're on a high. They're like, okay, let's give all the support to Ruben Amorim before he leaves. So that's why I think Sporting will get a 1-1 draw versus Man City, and then he can leave on a good note with Sporting. Next is Lille versus Juventus. Lille, who lost to Sporting in the first game, but then beat both the Madrid teams away as well. But I think this one, Juve at home, they're against Juve at home, and I think Lille will continue this run of games of beating big teams, and that's why they'll beat Juve. Not comfortably, but I think it's gonna be tight. I mean, oh my bad, Real Madrid was at home, but they beat Real Madrid 1-0. They beat Atletico Madrid 3-1. I think they're going to beat Juve like 1-0 as well, or 2-1, something like that. I think Lille will still beat Juve. I think Lille is just on a generational run in the Champions League this year. All the big teams they're playing against, they're beating. Like I don't know what Lille are on, but they're doing it. And compared to Ligue 1, they're struggling a bit. They're not winning. They're not winning the games that they should win, in my opinion, in the Liga. They're keeping it way too tight. But yeah, I think Lille will go bold, will provide an upset and beat Juve. Next, Celtic versus Leipzig. I think this one's nice and easy. Leipzig currently, I think, top of the league or like tied on points with Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga, and Leipzig's just been playing really well recently, so that's why I think they'll beat Celtic comfortably away. Even if it's away, I don't think Celtic has that. They've got good fans, but they don't have the team to compete with Leipzig. Not at all. Next, Bologna versus Monaco. Monaco, who just lost, I think, the first game in their Liga yesterday against Angers. So I think they're gonna lose. I mean, they're gonna beat Bologna. Bologna's not been good recently, to be honest, since their whole squad got destroyed by all the Italian teams and every team in the world. Every single player's left, so that's why I think they're doing worse than last season as well. But yeah, I think Monaco's gonna beat Bologna, not comfortably because they are away, Monaco. But I think they should still be winning this game, and I think they will win this game against Bologna. Now the Wednesday games, which I think, in my opinion, are some better games that to watch. There's some good games on Tuesday, of course, like Liverpool, Leverkusen, City, Sporting, and Milan, Real Madrid, and also Lille Juve. Um, but yeah, the Wednesday's also some good games. There's Club Brugge's Aston Villa, which is actually not a good game. Villa's going to beat Club Brugge very comfortably. Villa did just lose 4-1 against Tottenham after being 1-0 up at halftime, so that's pretty poor from Villa's side. But the Club Brugge just don't have that power in them to beat a team like Aston Villa, especially on the run they are in the Champions League. So I think Aston Villa win this one away like 3-0. I think Club Brugge have absolutely no chance. Now Shakhtar versus Young Boys. Shakhtar at home, but it's in Poland because of the war, of course. But yeah, I think Shakhtar. I think it's gonna be a tight game. I think it's gonna be like a 0-0. I'm feeling a 0-0. They're both struggling teams in the Champions League with the two small sides. Maybe one of them will push more, try and get that playoff spot. Because if one of them wants to get that playoff spot, they're gonna have to win this game. But I think they're both gonna be going back and forth, back and forth. So I think it's gonna end as a draw, and I think it's gonna be a boring one, 0-0, no goals, nothing's gonna happen. I don't really watch the teams anyway, so I don't really know much about them, but I think it's gonna be a 0-0 Shakhtar versus Young Boys. Now Bayern Munich versus Benfica. I think Bayern Munich at home against Benfica. Benfica, who just lost a Feyenoord at home, and I think Bayern Munich will beat them comfortably. In my opinion, Benfica have absolutely no chance against Bayern Munich. No matter the run Bayern Munich are in the Champions League, they might be on a poor run. They're struggling a bit. They've only won one game, which is against Dinamo Zagreb, 9-2, and Dinamo Zagreb is still above them. Um, but yeah, I think Bayern Munich is still going to be Benfica comfortably anyways. And yeah, next, PSG versus Atleti. PSG who drew against PSV somehow. We destroyed them. We gave away one chance and they scored from it while we had like 28 shots, an XG of 4, and we drew 1-1 because PSG have the worst finishing in the world. We create 25 chances per game but score 1 goal per game. It was the same thing yesterday against Lens. We had like 18 shots and we won 1-0. I don't know. Kosaramsh, it's maybe him. He's been injured for a couple months. We need him back now because he probably will be the only one that's going to be able to put the ball in the back of the net. But yeah, Atleti's been horrible recently in the Champions League. Even in La Liga, they've been struggling. And PSG at home, they've got the fans, great fans, of course. They've got the home advantage, and that's why PSG is going to be Atleti like 2-0, in my opinion. Comfortable. I don't think we're going to struggle too much against Atleti. Now, Inter versus Arsenal. Arsenal's been struggling and it's not been looking as good for them in all competitions in general as last year. Inter looking very good to be honest, but Napoli's looking better. But yeah, that's why they're not top of the league. But Inter's going really well. They're winning games, even in the Champions League. They drew against City, which was a tough game, which I don't think many people saw them get a point against City in the Champions League. But yeah, I think going on this Inter at home Arsenal, I think Inter's gonna beat them. I think Arsenal, they're away. They have a few injuries which they're gonna have to cope with, and Inter, they're at home. They've got the fans at San Siro, and that's why I think Inter's gonna beat Arsenal. Not comfortably. I think it's gonna be 1-0. Same thing for Newcastle. I think Arsenal's gonna do well, but they won't finish their dinner. That's why Inter's gonna beat Arsenal 1-0. Now, Feyenoord versus Salzburg. Salzburg's been the worst team in the Champions League this year, and that's why I think Feyenoord's going to comfortably beat Salzburg. I don't think there needs to be much talk about them because Salzburg has lost every game. As we can see, they lost. They lost. Who did they lose to? Where are they? What? Oh yeah, they lost to Dinamo Zagreb 2-0. Then before that, they lost. I think they got destroyed at home or something. I don't really. Yeah, they lost. 4-0 versus Brest exactly. And then before that, they had lost to Sparta Prague, which are games they should probably be winning, maybe except yeah, Dinamo Zagreb, Brest and Sparta Prague. Those are three games which, if they want to get playoffs, they can easily win. Salzburg, they're a good team. They should be winning those games if they want to get that playoff spot, and they've lost all of them. Not they've been destroyed in all of them. So that's why I think Salzburg will get absolutely destroyed against Feyenoord. Now, Red Star Belgrade versus Barcelona. No need to talk. Barcelona's going to destroy them. Barcelona is currently, in my opinion, the best team in the world, the most entertaining team in the world. Hansi Flick is cooking with them. They're playing great football. They just um, beat Espanyol today 3-1, and yeah, they're going to destroy Red Star like 4-0 in my opinion. Red Star Belgrade is going to have zero chance. Now, Sparta Prague versus Brest. Brest is on a generational run. Not lost a single game ever in their history in the Champions League. 3 games, 2 wins, 1 draw against Leverkusen as well. They drew against Leverkusen, and now they're Sparta Prague, which I think if they want to get that, I think they will get that playoff spot. I don't think they go automatic, of course. I mean, they could if they was it. They still have to play Barcelona. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, they're good. Their tough games are gonna arrive. You see PSV. I mean, they could still win that one, and then on the last one, they have who they have on the last one. They have. I saw them like 2 seconds ago. Who's their last ever game? Yeah, Shakhtar. Oh, okay, they could be Shakhtar. Okay, yeah, but there's a few games, but I think yeah, it's gonna be nice and comfortable for them. They will beat Sparta Prague nice and comfortably. Away, even if they're away, they're gonna beat them. Not comfortably, but I think 2-1. Now Stuttgart versus Atalanta, that's a very good game. Stuttgart who beat Juve in the Champions League. Atalanta, who I actually don't remember what they did in the Champions League to be honest. Um, but yeah, they drew 0-0 against Celtic. Atlanta's been doing really well in the Serie A, but they've been struggling a bit in the Champions League. I don't think they've won one game. I want to say I know they drew against Arsenal 0-0. Yeah, they beat Shakhtar away. They've won one game. They've got 5 points to be fair. That's decent, but they should be beating Celtic at home especially. But I think Stuttgart will beat Atalanta, or it's going to be a draw. I don't think Atalanta will win against Stuttgart away, because Stuttgart beat Juve away, and they had like 3 goals disallowed and missed a pen. So I think Stuttgart will beat Atalanta at home, and Stuttgart who are actually playing really well in the Champions League this year. And yeah, Stuttgart will beat Atalanta, I think 2-1 at home. And yeah, those are all my Champions League predictions for game week 4. Write in the comments your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. It's very important. And I think I'll see you in another video. Peace.